Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something truly special. We are going to unpack a single, deeply atmospheric scene that is just absolutely packed with emotion and incredible environmental storytelling. We're looking at this magical forest, and by breaking down its composition, the lighting, and all those tiny, deliberate details, we're going to uncover a surprisingly complex story hidden right there in a single frame. I'm so excited to guide you through this, so let's jump right in.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right off the bat, your eyes are immediately drawn to the absolute focal point, this gorgeous golden retriever sitting beautifully in the foreground. Before we even get into the stunning forest surrounding this pup, we've got to address the sheer emotional weight radiating from our main subject here. Just look closely at that expression. It's incredibly specific, isn't it?
And that actually brings us to the central mystery we're going to unravel today. So what exactly brings a dog to tears of joy in a magical forest? By posing that question, we can kick off a sort of micro to macro exploration of the scene. We'll start up close with our main subject, and then slowly pan out to let the surrounding environment answer that question for us.
Section 1. The emotional focal point.
The artist has captured this truly paradoxical emotional state here. On one hand, you've got this classic, happy, panting smile that literally any dog lover is going to instantly recognize, right? The ears are relaxed, the mouth is open in this gentle, happy way. But then, on the other hand, you have two prominent, heavy tears falling directly from the dog's eyes. It's this stunning depiction of profound joy, all mixed up with deep relief. It doesn't read as sadness or fear at all. It's more like this overwhelming sense of emotion that simply spills over.
I mean, look really closely right into the dog's eyes. Notice the profound emotional stillness happening right there. Despite all the vibrant, bustling forest energy around the dog, there is this quiet, arresting moment of pure reflection captured in those eyes. It completely grounds the fantasy of the entire scene in a very real, very palpable feeling of culmination.
Section 2. Mapping the eye's journey.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Because a great composition doesn't just throw everything at you at once, it takes you on a walk. The artist has mapped out this brilliant three-step compositional journey for us. First, we lock onto the crying retriever. Second, our gaze naturally gets pulled backwards along that wooden footbridge crossing the water. And third, the bridge leads us directly to the warm, glowing cabin nestled back there in the trees. It's a deliberate stepping stone path for our eyes.
And following that path, guide your eye over the rustic, weathered wood of the bridge. Notice those thick rope railings. It sits perfectly above this clear, shallow stream filled with smooth, round rocks. And you know, the stream itself acts as a leading line. It winds its way from the background directly toward our foreground subject, visually linking the dog's present emotional state to whatever is waiting across that water.
Section 3. The flora and the magic.
Just look at the vibrant, blooming flora completely surrounding our foreground dog. We aren't just looking at generic green grass here, folks. This is a masterclass in botanical illustration. We've got white and yellow daisies, striking red poppies, tall stalks of purple lupines, delicate bluebells drooping gracefully, and these lush, highly textured green ferns. The sheer abundance of life just totally highlights the lushness and vitality of this setting.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the magic is so subtly woven right into the reality. Go ahead and hunt around right now for those exact flowers we just listed. But as you do, check out what's floating among them. These luminescent fireflies, or maybe fairy lights, just hovering in the air. These tiny glowing motes of light add an undeniable layer of enchantment. They cement this as a place that exists just slightly outside of our normal reality.
And totally complementing those magical lights is the magnificent use of dappled sunlight filtering down through the thick canopy of ancient trees up on the left. This is absolutely crucial for the tone. You know, often a dense forest can feel intimidating or dark, but here, the warm golden light makes it deeply atmospheric, comforting, and welcoming. It's a sanctuary, definitely not a place to be feared.
Section 4. Foreground versus background.
So let's compare that profound emotional weight we talked about earlier with what's happening further back. On the left side, we have the emotional stillness of our main golden retriever, heavy, reflective, tearful. But contrasting that on the right side, there is a second, smaller golden retriever joyfully waiting right in the middle of the stream. It's splashing around, looking totally carefree and full of boundless energy. This juxtaposition is brilliant. It highlights the main subject's emotional journey by placing it right next to pure, unburdened playfulness just a few feet away.
Now draw your attention way up to the top right quadrant. Past the bridge, past the playing dog, we see cozy smoke rising gently from the stone chimney of that rustic log cabin. And that smoke tells us something important. It indicates life, warmth, and presence. Someone or something is keeping those home fires burning.
Looking even closer at that cabin, we can see it is just packed with narrative clues. We noted the smoke, but look at those incredibly warm, lit windows glowing in the shaded woods. And on the porch, a plush pink dog bed is neatly placed. Right next to it on the ground are food and water bowls just waiting to be used. The significance of these specific background details is huge. They prove absolutely that this cabin isn't abandoned. It represents a prepared, loving, and highly anticipated safe haven.
Section 5. The implied narrative.
So, the crucial point is that this whole scene is telling a story about a journey ending in a safe haven. That explains why everything feels simultaneously kind of melancholy, yet deeply, deeply comforting. Whether you interpret this as a dog finally finding a forever home, or maybe a metaphorical depiction of crossing the rainbow bridge to a beautiful afterlife where all their needs are met and old friends are waiting in the stream, the core emotion is exactly the same. It is the overwhelming relief of the journey finally being over.
And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates how powerful visual storytelling can be. To sum it all up, the interplay of the warm lighting, the guiding path of the rocky stream and bridge, and that stark contrast between the heavy emotion of our main subject and the prepared comfort of the cabin, it all works in perfect harmony. It tells a complete narrative of arriving, of finding peace, and most importantly, of coming home.
I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder as we wrap up. Looking at the tears in this golden retriever's eyes, I have to ask, does the true magic here lie in the enchanted, glowing forest itself? Or does the real magic reside purely in that overwhelming feeling of finally coming home? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this gave you a whole new appreciation for how much story can be packed into a single frame. Keep observing, keep asking questions, and I'll see you next time.